Hello and welcome to Flooring Models Kit Review Time. Today we've got Airfix's latest release. This is the 1/48 scale de Havilland Vampire F.3. Now we've been waiting for this kit a while and finally it is here. And if you've been following along on the Yesterday channel, you would have seen all about the designing of this particular kit. So it's fantastic to finally get my hands on one. So as you can see, gorgeous box art. Airfix, it's one of those things we often speak about on a lot of the live shows that we do, is how good the box art actually is, and this digital box art is absolutely stunning and amazing. So really nice, and it's that thing about getting excited about the kit just by the box art, let alone obviously its contents. So we see a couple of the options down in there. Not much on the box, as you might imagine. It's all going to be internal. Kit number for this one is A06107, and then again we've got the actual options down in there as well. So again, very nice indeed. So what have we got? We've got 601 Squadron in 1952. We've got number 442 as well down in there, and we've got whose is that one? That is one from Norway as well, from AEB. So again, some nice different options down in the kit. So I have not seen in here. I am slightly late to the party. I was hoping to get my hands on one of these before, but until now I'm having to wait like everybody else. So as we can see, straight off the bat, one bag all shoved in together, just like that, which we'll have a look at the moment. We have actually that's a lot of paperwork in there. We've got Decals, looking good. And then obviously we've got a couple of colour call-out sheets from the various painting guides, which is good. And then obviously we've got the all-important instructions. Okay, so going straight in, couple of options. Are you going to be doing it obviously with the fuel tanks or without the fuel tanks? Are you going to be doing it gear up or gear down, things like that as well? So there is some options to be had right off the bat. Make your choices now. And then going straight into it. So again, intake system, so we've actually got full length intakes going down in there to the first stage of the actual compressor blade as well, which is down in here. Going to be actually making up then obviously the gear wheel wells, as well as obviously going to be part of the wing spar system as well, so that should be quite nice. Fitting that down in there, as we can see, placing them into the tabs. Then we've got the rear part of the actual wheel wells being fitted just down in here, and then obviously depending on which ones you're doing, if you're doing gear up, gear down, things like that, we've got it fitting in the actual nose wheel door. So that's actually looking very nice. Then over here, finishing off the actual wheel wells, and then obviously going down through the things of that. So we're putting on the actual jet pipe itself, and then obviously you've got the rear wing spar being fitted down onto this one again, giving you great strength right the way across, and then fitting that one in there. Then we're talking about the seat, so if we're doing it with the pilot or not, obviously harnesses on or not. Then we've got the bulkheads going in, we've got the cockpit going in, and then obviously controls, and then the panelling being fitted down in there. Wheel well system going to be going down if you're doing the gear down system, being fitted down into there. And then obviously we've got the cockpit is going to sit on top of this actual wheel well system down in here as well. So again, talks about making sure you're getting all of those lined up in the right places, and then the top of that wheel well being fitted onto there. Then obviously we've got the little area between the actual flaps, so again, nice internal details showing those. So that's going to be putting those in there just like that. Same on both sides. Tail boom being fitted down onto this one, and again, very nice long tabs, making them really strong. So instead of doing it the usual way of having a little bit of a tab, it's almost got a full length tab in here. It's going to go actually down into here, which will then give you really strong location points for the actual tail booms coming off of this one. Internal details back here at the top as well, being fitted down into this one as well. Instrument panels being fitted in, depending on which one you're doing as well. And then obviously finally we get the top and bottom halves sandwiched together, which will then lock in these tails down here at the back as well. So that's really nice. Intakes being fitted down into there, all important nose weight, don't forget the nose weight, you need 17 grams apparently. Then we've got the rear stab being fitted down in there as well, and then obviously we've got the rudders being fitted onto that one, and the actual tailplane being fitted onto there. Depending obviously if you're going to be doing flaps up or down, and then obviously we've got those being fitted into this one all right the way through, as you might imagine. And then obviously the various things for this one being fitted in there for sort of speed brake, flappy type bits onto this one as well. hydraulic systems, things like that. Gear being fitted down into those, gear doors being fitted onto it, as you can see right the way through. And then wheels. So we've got wheels being fitted down to this. Hopefully there's a little bit of weight on wheels detail down in there as well. And then obviously we've got the doors being fitted right the way through. And then obviously nose wheel being fitted. Then we've got the fuel tanks. So we've got the sort of drop tank system onto this one, onto the wings. And we've got the ailerons being fitted on there. Separate piece tail wingtip lights, I should say, being fitted down into those as well. And then finally we've got the cockpit. So we've got the gun sight being fitted down onto this one, forward screen, and then depending obviously if you want it open or closed. And there we go. Nice. So options are 601 squadron we were saying, which is that one with a very nice tail onto there just like that. Or if you want something a little bit more nicer, we've got 442, which is obviously the Canadian one down in here as well, in Vancouver. That's really nice. I like that one a lot. Okay, and then obviously we've got the Norwegian one. I can put in here. So we've got the Norwegian one as well, which is very, very nice. So that one's over in Oslo. That's it. Very good. Luckily, there's not many decals to worry about, as in stencil data. So, speaking of decals, here they are. So we've got your common ones up at the top, obviously the no-step boards, things like that, those tails. And again, really, really nice, good, solid, coloured printing right the way over on all of those. You know, as you say, one thing, you think Airfix has come a long way when it comes to actually their kits. They've gone a lot further with their decals because they're really very, very nice indeed. Okay, then we are into the bag. So, okay, we've got the clear parts separate bagged, nice touch. And then obviously down in here we've got the various ones. So we've got 4 sprues. So starting off down in here, really nice. We've sort of got that clamshell way of putting them together. So we've got top and half coming together down in here. So if we move into the close-up, we can see the detail. Don't forget, this thing isn't going to be a million rivets and all the rest of it, because I think it's mainly made of wood. So again, one of those areas where, as I say, it's not going to be covered in tons and tons of panels on that because it is skinned. So again, looking really nice. These are these all-important areas down in here for the actual, which make up the wheel wells and the various things for the wing spars. We've got the intakes down in there. So the intakes are got very, very fine. Actually, I don't think it has. My eyes are deceiving me. Let me just grab my magnifiers here. Yep, there we are, completely clear of all ejector pins down in there. That was just a little bit of ghosting. And again, really nice details down in here. So we've got the tops of the wheel wells, things like that as well. So that's actually got some very nice details into it. And again, the compressor blades and tailpipes, things like that, going to be going on there. That's all very, very nice indeed. Then, if we look at the other half, so down in here, we've got the tails and the underside. And again, there's a little bit of ghosting on it, but it looks pretty darn good. So as you can see, these tails, and we've got the access panels, beautifully done. So they're very nice. And then obviously the main one as well, we've got the access panels underneath those. I can't see any sort of sink marks or problems with any of that at all, and trust me, I'm the one who normally gets them. So that's actually looking pretty darn good. Again, just little things like here, you've got a little bit of flash just poking up on these ejector pins, so it might be worth just giving them a rub, making sure they don't interfere with anything. And again, looking pretty nice right the way through. I'm wondering if there was going to be a stand at some point, because we've got a couple of locating pins down in there for a stand. I didn't notice it on the instructions. So, but there we go, you have got some little points there. So that's looking very nice indeed. Then we're into all the small parts. So as you can see down here, we've got the bulkheads, the wings, the wheels, and all the bits like that. So if we start up here, you can see very, very nice indeed. And again, I can't see any problems. Gear's very nice and crisp, which is quite good. All these areas here, we do have weight on wheels, which is nice. So we've got the bulged wheels, we've got all the riveting detail down inside these wheel wells. Again, lovely attention to detail. Very nice. And again, really highly detailed wheel wells for something you're never going to see You've got all the rivets in there, so that's very nice. One-piece doors if we were doing it in the closed or the up gear position and things like that. And a pilot. I don't know if he's a new pilot, but he definitely looks like an upgrade about all the others. So he does, but he just looks quite big for 48 scale. I know it's his stance and that may be, instead of having the traditional legs together, but I don't know if that's a new pilot figure. I'm sure people will let me know. Looks good. Again, no ejector pins in tailpipe, stuff like that. Hopefully those days are long gone, but even on the blind side down in here, that's all looking very nice indeed. No problem. Even the wheel well detail is incredible. Very, very nice detail on that one. Last up, we've actually got the drop tanks, we've got the stab down the back and all the rest of it. Again, the seat's very basic, but it is generally anyway. But you can probably see on the close-up, as I say, 3-piece fuel tanks, but I suppose trying to get the details curved around it. There's that stab. The intake systems, obviously it's got different shapes of them down in here as well. So I don't know if there's a slight difference on one side. Was that the port, the starboard side? Definitely got something going on there. So that's the starboard intake one. It's got different types. Again, you've got a couple of types of seat. We've got seat here and we've got seat here. So again, options. Very nice. And again, all these small parts, beautifully done. Control grip, things like that. And then obviously we've got the counterweights, all the details down in here as well. So that's all pretty darn good. It's all looking very, very nice indeed. And then last up, we've actually got the clear parts. Wow, those are really nice. That's very nice. Some very nice details down in there. Again, looking crystal clear. And again, you're always going to get distortion on here. And to be honest, I've got a rub mark in the top of mine, which is really annoying because they would be absolutely spotless. But again, we've got the wingtip lights, things like that. We've got the gun sight. That's actually all looking very, very nice indeed. Again, very good job. Right, there's one thing I am going to do, and this is because I've been asked. A couple of the people building this one have had troubles with this top half system fitting into the lower half one because apparently they are very much different sizes. So I did promise I would just grab some calipers just to see if there's a massive difference on mine. And I would say there's not. I think mine are absolutely fine. Let me just do mine to the inside of there. Again, this may be one of those ones where, no, mine is okay. So I think we're okay there. What it's been reported to me, and I've seen pictures of it, so I can say, yes, it's definitely a thing, is that this part of the fuselage here, and this part of the fuselage here, when you come to bring them together, there's a massive difference in scale. Now, why that is and how that is even, I don't know, because I can't imagine how it made it through the quality control system and all the rest of it if it had a fault. So what I would do is get hold of Airfix, give them that batch number, which is on the back of the box normally, which is here, which is this little number here. I'll cover mine over so you don't nick it, but that's my one in there. That's what they'll need to know. They can then track it to make sure that there's not others like it and things like that. So if you do find out that is, get hold of them, give them that little ticket number that's on the back of the box, and you'll be good to go with that one. Anyway, there you have it. That does look really, really nice, I must admit. The level of detail, it's nice to see Airfix still progressing, pushing it along, because this sort of panel line detailing and the riveting detail is probably the finest I think we've seen on any of their kits to date. So it's nice that they're still progressing, moving it along, and they're not going to play and just play safe and stale and all the rest of it. It does look really, really nice. So anyway, that is it. That's the long-awaited 1/48 scale de Havilland Vampire F3 by Airfix.